Okay. I'm sorry for that, guys. I was here speaking for a couple of minutes with no audio. Uh, I always mess things up. So I'm still cleaning the collection and going around halfway through it. Um, but I thought this particular shelf would be the most interesting, probably. It's the fantasy sci fi Western shelf. And when it comes to European books, I like to keep them organized, if possible, by author. And this is the shelf where I keep Mobius or Jean Giraud. And because of that, there's that amalgam of sci-fi and westerns being side by side, you know. Um, and um, This is Torgal, obviously. I don't have the complete collection. I'm missing the some of the most recent volumes, but still I have something like 20 or so, so not missing that many. Um, and I love Rosinski, one of my favorite artists, no doubt. Um, and Van Am is also a, a very good and prolific writer, uh, maybe the most prolific European writer in the latest 40 years at least. And Torgal, I was just looking at it, started being published in 1988. I think that was it. Let me check the first volume. So in 1989, right there. Very cool. And these thin art covers are probably the toughest to clean um, because my finger doesn't even fit in there. So I'll have to open them up a little bit and try to clean it as best as I can. But this row shouldn't be much dirty because it was covered with other things. But many of the books in this row are kind of damaged by one of my cats. Um, my youngest cat, who is now like 3.5 years, I think, was obsessed with this shelf and the other shelf next to it because it was just the perfect height for him to get up and stick his claws in the books and then kind of scratch or stretch himself. So some of these books are a bit damaged, but we haven't arrived to those yet. Oh, here, look at this. Cat damage, right there. He only stopped doing that some maybe 1 year ago. So for like 2 years, he was obsessed with this, and I had to keep yelling at him and stuff. But when I was not home, he would probably um, do the same shit. Gore Vidal, hello. How you doing? In 1989, Gore was reading Hellblazer. Yeah, okay. Um, but most of the stuff I'm showing to you guys tonight, it's not exactly new to you. In the last 5 or 6 years, I've been watching you guys collecting so much European stuff, especially Terrence and Sleepy Reader. Um, you in the last years, you guys really did a great job getting more familiar with the best European uh, comics, and that's very, very cool. So, not really, really new stuff to you. But Torgal is always very cool. And Rosinski is such a good artist. And also a good colorist. And it's this unique mix between fantasy and just a little bit of sci-fi, just a touch. Urban Adamson, hello, good evening. How you doing? Arachnia. This one is from 1999, so 10 years after. Volume 11, I think. Oh yes, such a good artist, Rosinski. Wonderful. In just a few minutes, I will show you guys one of my favorite works by him, and Jean Van Am, so the same duo. But that one was never published in English, and it's just a pity. I have made a video about it before. It's the great power of the Schninkel, and it's a magnificent, fun, entertaining triptych. It's 3 albums, and that's it. It's from the early 80s, so it predates Torgal, but it's just a pity that that was never published in English. Urban Adamson, I guess from Portugal. Were you the guy in Central Comics today? I heard this channel mentioned there. I don't think I was in Central Comics site or Facebook group today, but I go there sometimes. Yes, Central Comics is a Portuguese comics related site. And in the early 2000s, it used to be that forum I've told you guys about, where everybody in Portuguese comics would meet, from editors to artists to hardcore fans. Everybody would go to that forum, and it was there that most of those fanzines and comics projects were born. So cool. Chris of Valnor. What a nice cover. Jesus is the owner of the Central Comics site. Jesus had a talk with Paulo Costa made. He is someone you know. Oh yes, I do know Paulo Costa. We all do. And myself, Paulo Costa, and a few other guys usually have a YouTube show every month about comics. You can check out my channel later and see those. Torgal riding a unicorn. Fantastic. Very nice. Yeah, this row is not as dirty as others I've been cleaning. Meanwhile, not that bad. There's something here. Oh, little Torgal print. Cool. Very cool cover. Beautiful colors. Oh yes, Torgal is a fantasy classic. Great work by one of the best duos in European comics, Jean Van Damme and Gregory Rosinski. Beautiful stuff. These pages are a bit clinging on, but no real problem. Just needing some love, needing to be read. That's the problem with it. I haven't read this in 10 years and probably will never read it again. I don't know. So much stuff to read, so little time. Oh. Okay, little bit of damage there. This usually doesn't happen in my books, but for some reason this one is a bit like that. No big deal. It's okay. Steel Torgal. I don't know why. This room particularly is quite dry, but I don't know. Let's see if this one is the same. No, this one is okay. Just a little bit, but no big deal. Okay, cool. And this is the last Torgal I have. This is volume... Well, it doesn't even say... Oh, yes. This is not from the same collection. I bought it afterwards. So I bought some afterwards, right. So 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. The first 20 volumes of Torgal. There are a few more out now. Not many. Dude, shouldn't you be sleeping at this time? Of course I should. But, you know. Right now I'm in the Central American time zone. And I'm home alone. Dina went to visit her mother, so I'm getting to bed a little bit later. And this is what I was talking about, the great power of the Schninkel. Also by Rosinski and Van Damme, and never published in English, which is really a tremendous pity. And this one also shows a little bit of cat damage. just a little bit, not too bad. Um, and this is, I believe, from 1981 or 1982. Let me see it. Doo-doo-doo-doo. It doesn't say, but I think it's from 81. I'm pretty sure. Or even before that. Maybe even in the late 70s. Well, never mind. But this is the story of John. John is a Schninkel, which is a kind of halfling race, almost an hobbit. And this is so original in a way, so inventive, so entertaining. It's really, really great. It mixes a lot of religious concepts, and it's, if there is something in the European comics yet not published in English that no doubt should be, it's this. I reread it some years ago and loved it again. So cool. Volume 2. Nowadays you can find this in a integral edition. So compiling the 3 volumes. Boobies. So cool, man. Such a great artist, Rosinski. And this book surely seemed to be so fun to draw. This is all Portuguese collections, Urban Adamson. Everything I'm showing today, it's all published in Portugal. This one is still by Meribérica, which was a publishing company in the late 20th century. But I think you can find these republished by someone else. Oh, because of the nudity. Well, yeah. Maybe you're right, Terence. But still, this is the most relevant European bande dessinée not published in English. No doubt about it. It's absolutely lovely. And Schninkel is always a bit horny. And he's a very poor fella. Since I read this for the first time, I use the word Schninkel sometimes just to mean poor fella. Like he has very little luck in his life. Extremely nice. Schninkel. If you can get this in any other language, do. Now, The Quest for the Time Bird by Letendre and Loisel. I think this was published in English. And I think you have some of these, Terence, don't you? And Total Comics is talking about the Penthouse comics. and I've heard that Penthouse Comics indeed paid artists extremely well. They were very, very good payers, and because of that, they could get some really nice artists working for them. But I've also heard that um, things in Penthouse Comics were kind of wild, with drugs going on and stuff like that. In search, the quest for the time bird. That's how it's called. And it's nice. This is late 70s fantasy stuff. Let me see if I can find the date in here. No, it was published in Portugal in 1990, but it doesn't say the original publishing date. Another one. And these soft covers are much easier to dust off. Really cool. It changed quite a bit from the first volume to this third one, especially the colors. Yep, this is very nice Loisel work. Really is. And you can find these in Portugal quite cheaply still. In Facebook groups and stuff. Sometimes they pop up and not very expensive. I'm not the biggest fan of Loisel's Peter Pan either. I mean, it's very nice, but I also prefer this one. Yes. I'm there with you, Total Comics. And still another one. And again, his style evolving a little bit more. More defined line work. Very expressive. And again, beautiful colors. So this pile is done. Give me just a few moments to put it back on the shelf, and I'll be right back with another pile. And this is The Mercenary by Spanish Vincent Segreles. This is actually being republished right now in hardcover books and a very nice edition, but I'm not buying that. I have this old soft cover or cartoon cover, card cover, old Portuguese editions. And the Mercenary, it's all done in oil painting. Oh, and this cover is detached. Look at this. Oh, this book is quite old. I bought it as a young teenager, I think. But this is all oil paintings and then put together as a comic book. And things look a bit stiff, sometimes poses are a bit stiff, but there's a very nice world created on this series. And it's cool and entertaining, and always lots of boobies. So also nice because of that. Yes, sure. Paulo does love the Mercenary. He does. And Urban Adamson is collecting the new Mercenary editions, and Total Comics says that last month he bought some books in a sale. And one of them I had half of the pages sticked to each other. Yep. Humidity is a bitch. Always very strange creatures living in the Mercenary world. When is this from? If I can get a date. 1981, the first volume. Let's go for the boobs. There they are. So cool. And there are, I believe, 11 volumes of The Mercenary. That's it. I probably have the first 9 or 10. The most recent one, I haven't bought it yet. I will have to buy it from that new collection. Oh, Gore Vidal knows it from heavy metal. Okay. Boobs right in the cover. Johnny da Costa, olá, olá. How you doing? Very cool. One of the nice things about doing this cleaning once every 2 years at least is having the chance to go through the books and just looking at this beautiful imagery and kind of remembering a bit of the story behind it. Very cool. Now, more on the sci-fi with some spacesuits. Cool. Can't imagine American libraries carrying Manara books for anyone to read. Yep. That's it for the Mercenary. So I have the first 9 volumes. Now Valérien, or Laureline and Valérien, which I don't have many, but I enjoy it. And Valérien was made into a movie, and so it's very well known. And it's also very well known for being a source of inspiration for lots of stuff in Star Wars, right? But you guys know about that. Some more Valérien. And some more. Comics are so cool. And classic French authors. That was what I was taking some time to look here. Classic French authors always dress guys so well. This old man is so well composed in his suit and a great tie, looking really, really good. Love it. Very well done. Very few can do stuff like this nowadays. Now, something quite different. Corrigans, written by Mosdi, art by Civiello. Civiello is kind of a special artist, and you will see why in just a moment. I'm not the biggest fan, but it is in a way very spectacular. I'm not the biggest fan because I like things a bit more stylized, and these pages are so full in details. Most of the time, for me, that's an overkill. But it's his style, and it is spectacular. Yeah. And this is, I believe, from the early 2000s. Published in Portugal, second edition in 2003, and originally in 2003. Yep. A second volume. And this was published in Portugal by Vitamina BD. Vitamina BD was a publisher who put out very interesting, stuff. But then it went bankrupt and left a few collections to be finished. But that's very usual in Portugal, or at least it was very usual in Portugal some years ago. So I do have a lot of collections incomplete, but that's okay. I'm not really a completist. I like to experiment new things. I like to see new styles. So if I am to have to choose between completing a collection or starting a new one, I will probably start the new one. You know, Bosch comes to mind. Yeah, a little bit. Gus, were there any comics made about Portuguese colonial wars in Africa? Yes, there are a few. Um, there's the Vampire, o Vampiro, by the same guys who did Ballad for Sophie, which I showed yesterday. The Portuguese graphic novel which is nominated to the Eisners. So they made a story about the colonial wars, O Vampiro, and there's probably a few others. Yeah, that's the most relevant, maybe. Or at least that's what comes to mind. And this is another collection, but in the same vein, also by Chiviello. In fact, I'm not even sure if both are connected or not. I can't remember. But similar stuff. Wow, this is amazing. Very cool. I like his style better here. Less cluttered. Very cool. Yes, I like it much better in this collection. Oh. Okay. me try and take the light, put it more and directly. Maybe it shows the books better. Yeah, it's better. Very cool. Maybe I'll reread this. This is looking very good now. Seeds of Madness. Semente de Loucura, Seed of Madness. And Chiviello is, I believe, Italian. Not sure. I can't remember, Johnny. Yeah, this is from 2004. So he also produces very fast. That's impressive. Those first books I showed were from 2002. Now several volumes, and we're still in 2004. Very impressive. Just let me get up a little bit more. Yeah. And this is one of those collections by Vitamina BD, which got cut by its bankruptcy, and only the first volume came out. But I remember I loved this. I really loved this when I saw it, when I read it. A samurai story. Beautifully illustrated also. Beautiful colors. Nice. And Bouncer. Oh, again, cat damage. Cat scratch there. That's my younger cat, Tommy the Terrorist's work. So, written by Jodorowsky with art by Book Bouncer. I think I stopped collecting these right after the first volume. It is very good, but I'm not always... well, there's a lot of Westerns around, and I don't pick them all up. Maybe I'll complete the Bouncer collection someday, if I can find it cheaply online or in Facebook or what. And this pile is also done, so let me put it away. So we're entering kind of the Western section. and Western exactly by Van Damme and Rosinski, the Torgal duo and the Schninkel duo. This one is beautiful. I know Terence owns this one. It has the most beautiful double pages or spread pages. Look at this. So cool. And this one. Man. I had this as my computer screensaver for a long time. Just gorgeous. And Blueberry. So Charlier and Jean Giraud. Not Moebius, Jean Giraud. Moebius is a later being. And blueberries are quite easy to find in Portugal. They were published many years ago, but in great quantity, I think, by this publisher, Mariberi Caliber, which dominated the 1980s and 1990s in Portugal. And after that, there was other collections. So in Facebook groups and stuff, you can probably find Blueberry books just for some €3 each. I know the English language editions are very expensive and very hard to find. Early Blueberry. Still not the greatest Giraud and not the greatest printing either. You see him, and Blueberry is exactly like Alain Delon, the French actor. You can see Giraud getting better in each volume. Oh, fucking cat, man. Come on. Olá, Dina. Love you. My wife checking out on me. Thankfully, I'm not throwing a party today. That was yesterday. Beijinhos da Costa. Yep, and Giraud getting better and better in each volume. Very cool. Bye bye, Total Comics. Have a good evening. Total Comics is one of the guys who does the monthly show with me and Paulo Costa. He's an artist, goes by the name Vet, and I showed some of his stuff yesterday. Gore Vidal will remember Love is Just a Word. That's by Total Comics. And there's a lot of text in Blueberry. Very cool. So cool, man. These are pictures of the Civil War and after the Civil War, but there's things like they're saying this is the only known photograph of Blueberry, and he's the guy on the left. And this is the regiment where he served. And this is a fortified bridge in the Civil War, and this is the same bridge, but after Blueberry went there. So cool. Yep, that's very easy to find in Portugal, Johnny. Really easy to find Blueberry stuff. And look at this. Some more blueberries. Oh. This I have two of them. Amazing. This is already very mature Janjiro. Very nice. And still some more blueberries. Oh, yeah. I've never read the full Blueberry collection, just a book here and another one there. The earlier ones are a bit of a tough read. Maybe I should start by a later point and give it a go someday. But right now, I'm still reading Promethea by Alan Moore and not that excited about it. And I've been reading Prince Valiant from the start, from 1937, and I'm trying to reach 1950. And I'll show you one of those because it's a very nice Portuguese edition. I have 6 volumes of those Prince Valiant, and I'm just reading like 4 pages a day, not more than that. For fucking sakes, man. How did the fucking cat do that? Damn. Ugh. And these blueberries are still by Jean Giraud, because there are some more modern ones, like here. This one is by Wilson, not by Giraud. And this one again. And here. So Wilson took over from Giraud after some time. After Giraud's death, I believe. Man. What a pity. Oh well. I love that stupid cat. And now he's a bit older and is not any more interested in the books. So that's good. That's very good. And the Hairtight Garage, a black and white edition. It's nice to see Moebius work in detail without any color. So very interesting. The story is a bit everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Not the greatest story, but delightful to look at. That's it for this pile. I still have quite some more books to go through today. I'm not wanting to bore you guys, but well, you can leave at any time, obviously. So this is the Prince Valiant Portuguese edition. This is the first volume. I'm just finishing this one. And this is really big. Just in comparison, this is a regular comics size. So this is a really big Prince Valiant, kind of a artist's edition size. And I have 6 of these volumes from the start in 1937 to 1950. And according to specialists, that's really the core of Prince Valiant and the coolest stuff. And reading just a few pages every day of this, it's really the way to do it. Otherwise, it will bore you to death. But it's very cool. My favorite genre? I'm not sure, Johnny. I I do enjoy science fiction. I do enjoy fantasy. I do enjoy crime. I like a bit of everything, I guess. Not really. I'm not one to have any kind of favorites in anything. Uh, I cannot tell you what my favorite book is, what my favorite sport or movie is. Um, I can tell you what my favorite color is. I like them all. And what's in this pile? Another one of those volume ones published by Vitamina BD before going bankrupted. I don't remember much of these. Kind of sci-fi with a Renaissance vibe to it. Okay. And not dirty at all. And we're starting with Donkey Bilal. This is some of his earlier work, short stories from 74 to 77. And I do love Bilal's earlier works. Not so much his most modern stuff. I'm not a big fan of his 21st century production. But this old stuff is just lovely. Another well-known from Bilal and written by Christine. Pierre Christin Christin was a very, very good, very good writer, and the stuff he did with Bilal is all top-notch. I really recommend those. I know these have been published in English. Can't remember by whom, but this is all very nice stuff. Mm-hmm. So heavy metal was quite important in the US market if it gave you guys access to some of the best European stuff. This one is one of my favorites. The Stone Ship. I think that's what it's called in English. So cool. Okay, I was frozen there for a bit. So very cool. Still with Pierre Christine and Anki Bilal. Beautiful. This earlier Bilal stuff is just gorgeous. And his latest stuff is so different, and I dislike it so much comparing to this. I'm not even buying his books recently. I stopped buying the new Anki Bilal stuff some 10 years ago or so. I really don't dig it. Exterminator 17 with Dionne. Here with a Moebius vibe. This almost looks like Moebius. Very much Moebius-like. Even the character's design. Very cool. The Hunt. Lovely. And this is the start of Bilal's most well-known series, the Nikopol trilogy. This is from 19 probably 1990 or 1989, and it takes place in 2023. So 30 years ago, this is how Anki Bilal saw the world. The flying pyramids are due to arrive at any time now with the Egyptian gods. It may happen. I wouldn't be surprised. It comes with a newspaper, the Libération. And this newspaper is from February 2025. Okay. Very nice art here by Bilal, very colorful, but you can see it changing. From those previous volumes, you can see an evolution to another kind of style. But these I still do like a lot. And this is the end of the Nikopol trilogy, third volume. You can find it nowadays in a single volume, everything, collecting all the three. And then another series by Enki Bilal. Already evolving his style a little bit more, but here I still dig it. Still okay for me. Larger panels and a less defined line, and lots of stuff not even inked, just the pencils. But I still find it okay, no problem. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to open up these books now and then. Let them breathe a little bit. Books need some love. Still the same series by Bilal. Rendezvous at Paris. And his style evolving even more. Now a lot of pages with just 2 panels. And I'm starting to dislike it just because of that. But still pretty to look at, but not the same thing for me. Still the same series, the final volume of that series. Wait, sorry. And another one really damaged by the cat. And it's always on the same spot. He would get on his feet and stretch and claw and god damn it. I mean, I like to look at this, but I don't like the reading experience, and I also dislike the font a lot. It's beautiful to look at, it is, but not exactly my notion of how a comic should look. And after this, I think I stopped buying Enki Bilal because nowadays he is even more on this style and going in this direction. So another pile done. Let me put it away. And there's still 2 more piles to go. Oh boy. This, I think, was also published in English language. Bird by Carlos Trillo and Bobillo. It looks good. Very nice art. This is also a 3 volumes collection. Volume 2 here and volume 3. Carlos Trillo is one of the most important writers in the European market. Let's call it European. He is actually Argentinian, but everything he does gets published in Europe. Really an important writer, Carlos Trillo. Very talented. Now, this is kind of a teenager sci-fi series. Which was entertaining. Nothing special, but okay. I have quite a few volumes of this. Always a whole lot of boobs in European comics. In this case, teenage boobs. In French, this is called Silage. I don't know if it was ever published in English. Maybe it was. I don't know. So volume 2, 3, 4. And 5. These are a little bit dirty. I'll clean them right now. Now another series from that bankrupt publisher, The Regulator. I remember I enjoyed this one. Steampunk kind of comic. It was probably the earlier steampunk I saw. Full of detail. Okay. And another volume from that same series. And then what's this? Okay. This is a fantasy sci-fi by Fresato, Italian, with a bit of a Oriental influence in his drawing. Looks very, very nice. Ooh. Okay, no damage there. Quite cool. This is, I think, 7 volumes. Yep. Crazy stuff. Yeah. I enjoyed this when I read it some 20 years ago or so. Well, maybe not that long. I actually was a good client to this Vitamina BD publisher. But maybe there weren't as many good clients as I was, and bankruptcy was very common among Portuguese publishers 20 years ago. Nowadays, they seem to be a bit more stable. By Marvano and Hadelman, Forever War. I know this one is published in English, and it's a great, great science fiction book. I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly good. My cats have just contacted Gore Vidal's attorneys. I bet they did. I'm not surprised with that either. I bought this second hand. Not my doing for sure. But as I said, this is a surprisingly good science fiction comic. It is adapted from a sci fi novel written by Haldeman, I believe. Storm. Um, this is something Paulo Costa is also very a big fan of. It's by Don Lawrence. And it reminds a little bit of The Mercenary. I don't remember anything about this one. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. No harm done. Nothing special. I think the problem is that I have the books too compacted in the shelves. Always trying to squeeze one more book in there. So I really need to get to free up another shelf here in front of me so that I can ease things up a bit. And I'm really running out of space. Someday I will have to get some shelves made to order and place them right on top of the walls, like a couple of feet below the ceiling. And that's probably what I will end up doing someday. Samuel Trejo, hello, mate. How are you doing? It's been a long time since I saw you. I don't take them into the bathroom. I don't. I've been dusting off my collection, Samuel, and I don't have anything bagged, so it gets dusty. And I've been taking things off the shelves and giving them a clean. And I'm almost finishing for today. By Simone Bianco, Ego Sum. Another sci-fi. Looks good. Another one by that same publisher. Another collection stopped at volume 1. And we are almost done. Just one more pile to go. This, I remember, looks very artificial. It was all digitally made. Very strange. I've been seeing these volumes for sale, and maybe that's what's gonna happen to this one. There, there is some stuff here that I should sell, even to make room for some new stuff. For some new stuff, yeah. Maybe I will someday. Stan Lee's and Moebius Silver Surfer in a French edition. I bought this in a trip to France in the most magnificent comics shop there. A big shop, 3 stories. Just a basement, a first store, and the upstairs. Beautiful shop. Many thousands of books. I can't remember what it's called. Still some Moebius and Jodorowsky, The Crazy Woman from Sacré-Cœur. This, I believe, is also published in English. It's okay. Not great, but it's okay. Harzak. Probably my favorite stuff from Moebius. Harzak is really cool. This is Moebius on Mescal. Really tripping. Then this nice Harzak stuff. These strong colors, this very bizarre imagery. But very fun panel layouts. This is always cool to look at. And it's a good thing that Bilal is finally getting published in English. Moebius. I'm sorry. No idea why I was calling it Bilal. Hello, Volstix. Sorry, I was distracted and I was not looking at the chat. Okay. Jodorowsky's book. Oh, that's the Crazy Woman of Sacré-Cœur. This one. I do think this is published in English. It's about a university professor joining a cult. Now, the Hairtight Garage in color. I showed it. I showed a black and white edition before. So this is a color edition. Both are fine. The colors are light enough to allow details to go through, so that's okay also. And that was volume 1. This is volume 2, same cover, but 1 and 2. You're welcome, Volstix. Another Moebius with the Major as the main character. Very nice line work here. Very nice. It's cool. The Blind Citadel. Beautiful. Top-notch Moebius. Sra. The World of Edena. And also from the World of Edena. Yeah. Another one. Bit of cat damage there also. Your lawyers will need to be good to protect my cats from my anger, Gorvidal. I'm kidding. They'll probably sue me and take the books and the house and the wife and everything else. Fucking cats. Mad Woman of the Purple Heart, maybe. Yeah. A Moebius take on Little Nemo, or kind of. The Incal, the Black Incal. So yeah, Moebius is the king on this shelf. With all the blueberry stuff and this sci-fi stuff. Still the Incal. The Jodoverse. Jodorowsky's universe. and the new colored versions of the Inkall just look so wrong to me. Love the colors on these ones. New colors are infinite palette of browns and grays and more browns. Just for God's sake. Hey, this one is on the new color style. Just not as appealing. Not as appealing at all. Oh, and the Meta Barons. Here, also part of the Jodoverse, but art by Juan Jimenez, and beautiful art. This is well known. I guess you guys all know the Meta Barons. Love it. Absolutely love it. They started publishing it in a card cover and then changed to hardcover. That's okay. Oh. And this is a spin-off from the Meta Barons, Kashtaka, with another artist, Das Pastoras, which is also very, very cool. Very cool artist. And that's it. That's the last book from this shelf. So, not much more to go until I clean it all. I'll probably keep doing it tomorrow. Don't think I will do any other videos in this style. But guys, thank you so much for watching. It was really cool to have your company. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you around, guys. Thank you so much. Stay cool.